Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. As we get closer to Christmas and you're, possibly thinking of Christmas ideas, I want to share some of my favorite children's books that talk about inclusion and or disability. I have never been a big reader. I'm not one that'll pick up a chapter book, but I love reading these books along with my kids and just looking at the illustrations and learning about the kids in the stories and just seeing how my son especially doesn't see these kids as different, doesn't or as different in a bad way, I guess I should say, and is excited to read these books. He'll choose these books in the evenings when I say, hey, go grab a book and we'll read it. He goes ahead and picks up one of these books off the shelf, and it's just really neat that he wants to learn more. He wants to read, and we're trying to, at least in my household, I want to make sure that when we get to the point of being around kids that are different or kids that may have challenges, that it's not like, who are they or whatever. I want him to approach them and be friends and friendly. And so, anyways, I want to share these books with you, and I hope that you find some books that talk about inclusion and disability and share them with your kids as well. And just so you know, I'm not making any money off this, just wanted to share them with you. So this is When Charley Met Emma. So Charley is the child without a disability, and he's meeting Emma, and he finds out even though she looks different and uses a wheelchair, that she likes things that he likes. Really good book. This is We're All Kinds of Wonderful. So this book has kids that are just, it just highlights kids, different situations, and talks about how we're all wonderful. We're just all different kinds of wonderful. And so I thought it was a really good book. So that is You're All Kinds of Wonderful. And then I am ashamed to say I knew nothing about this event in history, very important event in history, until 6 months ago or so. And this book talks about it all the way to the top. This book chronicles this little girl's journey at the time. She was a child during the Capitol crawl. So disabled people made a choice to say, we're going to make a statement. We're going to crawl all the way to the top of the Capitol steps to say, we need a change to happen. These laws need to be passed. And so, I'm ashamed to say I didn't know about it. I didn't hear about this in history, but this law changed things for so many people, myself included. Having mild cerebral palsy, there are things that I have benefited from because this little girl and others decided to crawl all the way to the up the Capitol steps. Like, she got out of her wheelchair, and they went to protests and stood up for the rights. So, thank you, people that did that. That happened in 1990 is when the law was passed. My friend, I'm going to butcher the name, Suanna. My friend Suanna. So, it's about a little girl that has a friend that's also a little girl, the same age, but her friend has cerebral palsy and can't walk, can't stand on her own, can't talk, and so, yeah. Really good book that talks about, you know, how we can still be friends with people that are different than us, and how it's important. And so I like this book, and my son is 5 years old, and we've read this book many a times. I Am Me from A to Z. This is a book that just covers things in many ways. You know, it talks about how if you have a disability, you're still you. If you have a different color, you know, if you're a different color, you're still you. It doesn't matter. It's just really, really neat. Shows all these different kids. And that is I Am Me from A to Z. So, big book on inclusion. On the back it says, celebrate the value in every child and the power in every word. Good statement. This is Mighty Miss Maya. See it, then be it. So, dreaming big. On the back it says, Mighty Miss Maya is a fierce little girl who doesn't let anything stand in her way. Maya and her dog, Abby, go on fantastic adventures, seeing new sights and learning new skills. Sometimes Maya faces big challenges and feels very stuck. Luckily, she knows just how mighty she is. See it, then be it, she reminds herself. And she soon finds that there's almost nothing she can't do. That's so cool. You know, just reminding kids that no matter what situation they're in or whatever disability they have or challenge that comes up in life, that they can do it. They can overcome it. Really like that book too. I love all these books. I don't know why I keep saying that. This is a good, like, introduction book. If you're like me and you're like, I can't draw, I'm not an author, what kind of book, if I have a child with a disability, would I go and have read to the class or give to the teacher to have read to the class? This is a good book to use, or even just take some ideas from it, because it's very, very simple. It says, meet, and I'm going to butcher the name, sorry, Meeting Mimi, a story about different abilities. So, Meeting Mimi, a story about different disabilities. There is a lot to learn about the new girl at school. She does not like beans. She does not like to tell jokes. she does like to tell jokes, and she has a physical disability. Join Mimi's classmates as they ask questions about different abilities and make a new friend. So this really encourages kids to ask questions, to not be afraid. And it's big print, which I love, having vision issues, and it's simple. So highly recommend that one. This one is Daniel's New Friend. If your kids watch Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood, I think it's called. He was created by Mr. Rogers. This book talks about a time when he made a new friend who used crutches and wears braces, or AFOs. And my son Thomas likes this book because it reminds him of his sister, because his sister wears leg braces. Really good book. This next book isn't specific to disability, but it encourages kids to be happy with who they are, and it's Happy in My Skin. It mostly focuses on colors of different people, but just teaches you to be happy with the situation you're in, and whether you have a disability or not, kind of thing. This last book is one that I have recorded myself reading. It is my favorite book. You can tell it's my favorite book because it's been beat up a little bit. Image Bearer. Being a believer, I believe that we are all made in the image of God and are loved by God. But it's so easy to forget that, unfortunately. And this book reminds us of that. I'll read the back. Your value comes not from the things that you do. You have worth because God has made you and loves you. I'll read that again. Your value comes not from the things that you do. You have worth because God has made you and loves you. Very, very powerful book. A lot of times, we can sit there and think, am I, if we're having a difficult day or whatever, we might sit there and think, am I worthy? Am I loved? Am I made in the image of God? If you're a parent of a kid with a disability, you might be wondering. It says it right here, and it says it in God's Word. So, I hope you enjoyed this. If you would like me to read some of the books, let me know. I do kind of struggle a little bit with reading, but yeah, I encourage you to pick up books that talk about inclusion, that talk about disability, that talk about differences, so that we can just change the way that we treat others and kids treat others, and show that we're all human, we're all loved by God, and that we should love everybody. So have a great day. Bye. God bless.